Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I am at Apex 2023 and I'm joined by Shekhar from iNEMI, the new CEO. Congratulations on the new role. Tell me a bit about your previous experience and how you worked with iNEMI kind of from outside the organization.
Phil, I really appreciate this, and it's an honor to be part of this organization, iNEMI. I used to be in Bell Laboratories before, and Bell Laboratories had a significant role in iNEMI, and as my predecessor really was a staunch supporter and an architect of that engagement profile. In my opinion, iNEMI has a very unique value proposition that it offers to the industry. We do two things, and two things alone. One, we work with the industrial ecosystem to build out the roadmap, and I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit. And then the second is we look at the gaps between the market needs and where are the technologies moving towards, and address those gaps with very specific technology projects. And those technology projects do a variety of things, including providing tools, methods, best practices, and partnerships with standards organizations, because ultimately those standards drive the behavior of how electronics manufacturing is going to succeed in the future.
Yeah. And it's interesting, I think sometimes I look at trade associations and I think it's a crowded ecosystem, but what iNEMI does is, as you say, absolutely unique. And some of the partnerships that have developed from iNEMI members have been very long-lasting, very performative partnerships that have really pushed technology forward. That's a key part of how the organization works, isn't it?
Absolutely. But before I talk about partnerships, I would like to acknowledge IPC, Mark Kelly specifically, for providing us this forum. We look forward to working with IPC as an organization. We similarly have partnerships with other associations as well. If I want to describe the ecosystem in 3 words, it's about how we translate research, engineering, and best practices into reality. That's really what this ecosystem does.
Yeah. Talk a bit about the ecosystem in terms of membership, because when I look at events like this, we're very much in a single interface between equipment, solutions, software, and the manufacturing companies. You work with the manufacturing companies, customers, the brands, the OEMs. You work with the manufacturers themselves. You work with the suppliers. You work with the research companies. It's a much broader kind of supply chain, isn't it?
Correct. So iNEMI as an organization has an impact across the electronics manufacturing value chain. If I were to think of 3 pillars of what iNEMI really tries to do, it is all about materials and metallurgical properties, processing, and everything we do in smart manufacturing.
Yeah.
And we try to focus these activities along 6 key segments that's driven by the market needs.
Yeah.
5G, 6G communications is a great example, right? So, board assembly, it's all about board assembly. Advanced packaging, there's a lot of governmental funding and push, not just in the US, but even in Europe, as well as in Asia. In India, for example, big investments in that space, right? And I believe iNEMI can work with our partners to leverage those investment dollars and show what some of the potential solutions are.
Yeah. And as a new CEO, it's your job to corral what's good and keep that moving forward, but also perhaps bring some new ideas to the organization. What are kind of your dreams and aspirations for iNEMI under your stewardship?
There are really 3 things. One is, how do we leverage all of the advances in smart manufacturing, and how can we apply it to improve the effectiveness, efficiency, and throughput in semiconductor manufacturing?
Yeah.
The other important part really is the diversity piece that people don't talk about, right? There is a convergence of a variety of things happening in this space. And the question is, can we recognize those inflection points for convergence? And how can we proactively address them rather than reactively address them? What it also does on the third point is, it provides opportunity for machine builders to rethink how an older machine, for example, can coexist with a newer machine, and what will that aggregation look like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, and I think when you talk about that diversity of industry initiatives, there's diversity in terms of the trade shows they attend, in terms of the associations that they're members of, and it's all of those that come together in iNEMI that make it a little bit unique and a little bit different, and actually more able to solve real world problems, because it's rare a problem is confined to a single industry. You have a lot of working groups, a lot of initiatives within your organization that pretty much pull all of those together. Is that correct?
Yes. What we try to do is to look at what the needs of the industry are and try to create these technology integration group. Yeah. For example, we have a technology integration group in advanced packaging, board assembly, and smart manufacturing as 3 examples. Yeah. The idea there is to look at what market drivers are there, yeah, look at how we translate those gaps, and describe, I'll call it smart projects, which is very specific, measurable, actionable, result-oriented, and time-bound. Because all of that's important. Yeah. Because we cannot let this to be just go on for ad nauseum. Yeah. Because the members are expecting results that they will then use in their internal roadmaps and internal. Because ultimately, if I boil it down to 3 value elements to the members receive, 1, how do they reduce technology risks by participating in this ecosystem? Yeah. Mission critical, because it impacts their gross margins and the CAGR, right? Second, how do I do workforce development? It's not a traditional university like workforce development, right? But when engineers work on these projects, the voice of the members are, they have learned so much that they can just leapfrog some of the things that they will do in courses. Yeah. And third, it's time to market. Mission critical. How does this enable them? Because of the variety of cultures and mixed investment profile, it speeds the time to market.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Congratulations again on the new role. I'm excited to see what you do with the organisation and excited to talk to you again in the future. But in the meantime, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, Phil. Much appreciated.